What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Adam and you are watching CyberCat Labs. Today we're taking a look at Chocolate Factory on TryHackMe.com. This is another one of those easy rooms, but this video will take a little longer than the last few I've done, as there's a bit more to do in this room. I've gone ahead and completed this room earlier today, and I've gone ahead and reset it to avoid any spoilers ahead of time. If we go down here, we can see this room was designed so that hackers can revisit the Willy Wonka chocolate factory and meet Oompa Loompas. Let's go ahead and take a look at our challenges. We have enter the key you found, what is Charlie's password, change user to Charlie, enter the user flag, and enter the root flag. So they're already giving us a clue that we have a user named Charlie. But again, this is Charlie in the chocolate factory, or Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. With that said, let's go ahead and ping the box to make sure we can still reach it. And that looks good there. Let's go ahead and run our standard nmap scan. So this is going to be nmap tac sc to run our safe scripts, tac sv to enumerate all versions, the IP address of the machine. This is not the correct IP address. 17162. As these can take a while to run, I have gone ahead and already ran the scan. So let's go ahead and cat out our initial scan. And you can see we have a whole lot going on here. Let's scroll to the top. And we have port 21, FTP, allowing for anonymous login. We have 22, SSH, 80, HTTP. And if we scroll down just a bit more, we have 100, 106, 109, and some other oddball ports. And all of them are marked with this small hint from Mr. Wonka. Look somewhere else. It is not here. Hope you won't drown Augustus. Now, with those hints, I assume we can discount those specific ports. So let's go ahead and clear that. And I'm going to go move over here and cat out that initial scan again, just to have a bigger screen. Let's go back to the top here, and let's go ahead and take a look at the website, as that's usually a good starting point. Squirrel room, username and password. So we already know we have a username Charlie, so let's just go to Charlie, and then I don't know, golden ticket. No, we'll do Charlie admin. Nope. Do Charlie chocolate. No. Okay, let's go ahead and hit Control U on the keyboard to view the source. And this all looks like, so we've got some CSS, some static HTML, but if we go towards the bottom of the screen, we can see there is a validate PHP. So we know they're using PHP somewhere in here. With that said, let's get a GoBuster scan running. So we're going to go ahead and do GoBuster dir tac u for the URL, the IP address of the machine, tac w to run the word list. We're going to directory list 2.3 medium, outputting this to a file called GoBuster scan1, and then we're going to do tac x for an extension, and we're going to do PHP this time around. So let's go ahead and run that. And we're already getting hits there. While that's running, let's go ahead and run a Nikto scan at the same time. So this is going to be Nikto tac host, the URL or the IP address, and then outputting to a file called Nikto scan. So we'll run that as well. And let's take a look at what else can we look at here. Can we go any further with this validate PHP, or does it just bring us back? So this is the incorrect credentials, Windows location, index.html. Okay, so nothing really there. Let's jump to this FTP server allowing for anonymous login. So we're going to do FTP, the IP address, and we're going to type anonymous for the username. Hit enter on the keyboard without entering anything. And ls to list those files. So there is a file called gumroom. Let's do ls/lah to see if we can find any hidden files. Nothing there. Can we move around in the directory? We cannot, it doesn't look like. Okay, let's go ahead and get that file. So we're going to do get gumroom. And we're going to exit there. So let's take a look and open gumroom. Alright, that's gum in a room, I guess. Let's take a look further into that. Let's see if we can take a look at the metadata of that picture. So we're going to use exif tool. And the name of the file is gumroom. So we can see the file size is 209 kilobytes. It's 1920 by 1080. Nothing really out of the ordinary popping up out here. However, anytime I come across images in these rooms, I automatically assume files within a file or text within a file. So let's go ahead and run stegseek on that file. So we did find something. There was no passphrase. However, we can see the original file name was b64 text, and this is what the file extracted out to. Let's cat the extraction. So we're going to cat gumroom, and this is going to be gumroom out. And we're presented with a big block of encryption. So we know the file was called b64 text, which automatically leads me to believe this is a base64 encryption. The other thing is usually the base64 I have come across has this double trailing equation at the end. So we're going to grab this and copy it, and let's head over to CyberChef. Let's drop our block of text in there, and then we're going to say from base64. Okay, we have a readable output. Let's grab that, and we're going to create a file called nano notes text. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-V on the keyboard, and that's a little small, so let's go ahead and hit Control-X. Yes, enter, and let's go over to this section, and we'll go ahead and clear the screen and cat our notes out. So we already knew we had a username Charlie because the challenge, or the challenges gave us, you know, change user to Charlie, and here's Charlie right here. But we also see we have this hash right here. So what we can do is to determine what hash this is. We can do hash ID, and then we'll hit Control-Shift-V again. And now we know we're working with a SHA-512 hash. So let's hit Control-C to exit out of there. And let's grab this. We're going to copy the selection, and we're going to nano this, and we're going to call this Charlie hash. Let me clear the screen. I am a prolific screen clearer, so if you see me doing that a lot, I'm sorry. It makes it easier for me to see things going forward. So let's go ahead, and now we're going to use John the Ripper to see if we can get that hash, or get that password from that hash. So we're going to do John. We're going to call this Charlie hash. And let me get rid of this real quick. So we're going to do tac format equals SHA-512 crypt, tac word list, and we're going to run the word list rock you. Now, when I ran this, it took about 10 minutes to run, and I'm running a pretty decent PC. Since I have already ran this, I'm going to go ahead and just do show here. There we go. Since I already ran this earlier, it was already in my history basically. So we can see Charlie, and then we have this password CN7824. So what is Charlie's password? It is CN7824. Enter. Okay, so we have Charlie's password. Let's go ahead and go to Charlie, and then CN7824. Okay, we are in. This is still going, But as you can see, when we entered Charlie's password, it brought us to home PHP. And GoBuster did find home PHP, so we probably could have bypassed doing the John the Ripper if we had just gone directly to home PHP. But that's okay. So we're presented with execute commands here. Let me clear this. What can we do here? Let's see if we can run any kind of Linux commands. Let's just do ls to list out anything. And we can, so we can see home, PHP, image, and so on. But we also see key, rev, key, and then validate PHP. Now, we're looking, enter the key you found. So we've come across key, rev, key. So I'm going to try and grab that. So I'm going to do wget and then 10.10, 17, 162, and then this is going to be key, rev, key. And I have that file. Okay, let's take a look at that file. So let's go ahead and let's try mousepad. Okay, so this looks like a bunch of encoded gibberish. But if we look a little closer, we can see, congratulations, you have found the key. And it's kind of buried right in there. Keep it safe. Bad name. Okay, let's go ahead and just cancel out of this. What if we cat that out instead? That's even worse. Let's try here. That's a little cleaner. So kind of the same thing. Congratulations, you have found the key. So this does appear to be the key altogether. So we're going to copy that selection. But I want to do one more thing. Let's go ahead and run strings on that. So we're going to do key rev key again. And now we can see clearly, congratulations, you have found the key. This is the key right here. So we're going to go ahead and copy that and enter that there. Alright, so enter the user flag. So let me close this. We're in here. We have the key. Can we cat etc password? We can. Can we cat the etc shadow file? No. How about we do uname tac a? Okay, so we can execute some commands here. Let's see if we can get a reverse shell on the machine. And I'm going to do that with a netcat. So I'm going to do nc tag lv or lnvp, and then we're going to do 4444. So I'm going to set this to listen to all ports, and or listen, yeah. So let's go back to, where is it that I need? I think it's Pentest Monkey. Pentest Monkey. Netcat reverse shell. And let's see here. So I will say, when I did this earlier today, I attempted to run this several times and this would not work. So what I had to do is run this version to make the reverse shell work. So if you run into this not working properly, or what would happen is I would run this command. I would get a connection, but I wouldn't get any shell, so I couldn't do anything. So we're going to grab this one, and we're going to come back here, and let's modify this to my IP. So we're going to do IP and then 444. I believe that's all I need to adjust, and execute. I did something wrong. Let's take a look again here. Let's change this to 444. And IP is 10.6. I see what I did wrong. 207, and we should get a connection. There we go. So let's stabilize that connection. Let's see. Stabilize reverse shell. So grab this and let's make this a little more stable. There we go. Old habits. Okay. So, who am I? www data. Can I travel anywhere? CD home. CD Charlie. LSLAH. No hidden files. Can I cat that user text? Cannot. Can I cat this teleport? I can. And this is an SSH private key, or an RSA private key. Let's grab this, and we're going to nano, and I cannot remember how this is properly supposed to be called. I'm just going to say ID RSA, and then I'm going to do Control Shift V and Control X, save to the buffer, ID RSA. So this is in Charlie's folder, and this is for an SSH private key. So we're going to do SSH Charlie at 10.10.17.162. Try that again. 10.10.17.162. And we're going to do I, and then we're going to do ID RSA. And type yes. Charlie's password. Oh, I see. Okay, so load key ID RSA bad permission. I need to give ownership or proper ownership here, so we're going to do change mod. We're going to call this ID RSA. Change mod 600 ID RSA. And let's try and run that command again. There we go. So if we do who am I, we can see now that we're Charlie. So let's move to the home directory. And we're going to go cd Charlie and cat that user text. Okay, so now we have the flag. Let's go ahead and submit that. Change the user, we did that. We did that. So now let's take a look and see what Charlie's allowed to run as a super user. So we're going to do sudo Tac L. And we can see Charlie's allowed to run V or Vi. So let's go ahead and go over to GTFO bin, set it right this time. And we're going to do Vi. And I want sudo. So we go down here. And as usual, if this binary is allowed to run as super user by sudo, it does not drop the elevated privileges and may be used to access the file system, escalate, or maintain privileged access. With that said, let me go ahead and do Control-Shift-V. And we're going to... Oh, I'm in the wrong window. Let's scratch that and try that up here instead. Who am I? Now we're root. Alright, so let's see. Let's go to the root directory. So we're going to do cd / go to cd root ls. We'll do lslah just in case. Anything in that bash history worth looking at? No. Okay, so we have a file called rootpy if we just do ls. So that's a Python extension. So we're going to do, let's go ahead and Python 3 is the most common one currently. So let's do Python 3 root.py. So file root.py line 2 and module import py figlet no module. Let's cat the rootpy and take a look here. So we can see it's looking for some kind of key, and then it has an encrypted message for us. You are now the owner of Chocolate Factory. And here's our encrypted message. Let's try Python 2. And we're going to do root.py again. Enter the key. So this time we didn't get an error. Now, the only thing that's asked us or stated that it was a key was this. Because these are flags. This is the only thing that mentioned that it was a key. So let's grab this. And again, Control-Shift-V. And you are now the owner of Chocolate Factory. And there's our final flag. And that is the Chocolate Factory room. This was a fun room. I did this video a little quicker than it took me to actually do this room. There's a few ins and outs here. And running a new scan, we can see that there's this home PHP. So if we just went back to this login screen, but it looks like it would have been possible just to bypass it by just doing home PHP. And we're right there. We just bypass any kind of validation. So, with that said, that's going to be it for this room. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I know I did. And until next time, I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.